Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. A lot of talk around Hogwarts Legacy these days. I know some people are a little bit disappointed that the game has been delayed, but at least we got a release date. It's coming February 10th. And with that announcement, the Steam page has been updated. You can pre-order the game, and the system requirements are live right now. Now, the game will be priced at $60. I do want to give you guys a heads up that if you want to buy the game a little bit cheaper, over at Green Man Gaming, they have the game 18% off for $49.19 for XP members, so you can get it a little bit cheaper there. The game's actually going to be, I believe, $70 on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, so if you're on PC, you're saving quite a bit of money. This is the case with like Gotham Knights as well. But nonetheless, this video, I want to take a look at the system requirements and give you guys an overview of what to expect. Now, given that we're still about 5 months away from the release of the game, this could shift a little bit, and hopefully what I am really wanting is that Warner Brothers expands the system requirements a little bit more. I really think we have to let go of this archaic minimum and recommended system requirement setup. Look at what Sony's doing with their PlayStation games coming to PC, and look at what a lot of other publishers that I can't think of off the top of my head, but a lot of publishers have gone the route of doing 3, 4, or even 5 different tiers of system requirements. I believe Microsoft also does that with their games these days, and that's really helpful just because there are so many different setups, so many different configurations, and I've been really parroting this since like 2015, 2016. I've been like on this for a long time, but thankfully it's changing a little bit, but I do hope that Warner Brothers does expand it a little bit more outside of minimum and recommended. Nonetheless, enough rambling. We got the minimum and recommended requirements, so let's go over them. Let's start off with minimum. The Intel Core i5 8400 or the AMD Ryzen 5 2600 are the minimum CPU requirements. Those are a few generations old, but I imagine those are around the level of CPUs a lot of people are running, just because if you're talking about building a PC, 2019, that's probably around the level of CPU a lot of you guys have. So yeah, that being minimum is actually a little bit higher than I expected, but nonetheless, that is what it is. Minimum RAM requirement is 8 gigabytes. That's pretty standard these days. Like, the 4 gigabyte era was good for a little while, but that could suffice at minimum. That era is dead, and really the majority of you guys probably should be shifting to a 16 gigabyte configuration these days. Minimum GPU requirement, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070 or an AMD RX Vega 56. 1070 is not too crazy. I do imagine that's a GPU a lot of people are still running, though. 1070 or 1080, just because if you want to factor it in, GPU prices skyrocketing. I know they're coming down now, but a lot of people bought the 10 series GPU. The idea was to skip a generation or two and then pick up another GPU after that, after a generation or two went by. Unfortunately, a little thing called the global pandemic happened and GPU prices skyrocketed and everything like that. So a lot of you guys are probably settled with a 1070, 1080 right now, but that'll get you by. Minimum storage requirement, 85 gigabytes, and then it does also note SSD is preferred, but HDD is supported a hard disk drive. And then it also notes that this is for 1080p 60 frames per second at low quality settings, upscale performance setting. So that is kind of surprising in my opinion. 1080p 60 FPS, however, low settings though, so that's a little bit of a bummer. On the recommended side of things, you're looking at an Intel Core i7 8700 or an AMD Ryzen 5 3600 as the recommended CPU. Recommended memory, 16 gigabytes of RAM, pretty self-explanatory there, but this is also a game from a CPU side of things, looking like it's going to utilize a lot of threads, but 16 gigabytes of RAM being recommended. Look, if you're looking at any AAA game these days, it's at the very least going to be 12 gigabytes recommended, and more often than not, you're going to see 16 gigabytes quite often. Recommended GPU, GTX 1080 Ti or an AMD RX 5700 XT, nothing too crazy there. Storage, once again, 85 gigabytes, and they do specify SSD is recommended. Now, these requirements are for 1080p 60 FPS at high quality settings, upscale quality setting. See, this is the problem. Recommended 1080p 60 FPS, that's great for some people. I know a lot of people watching my videos, they got a 4K monitor, they got a 1440p 144Hz monitor. Unfortunately, this doesn't give us a grander picture of what to expect on that end. However, I imagine if you're going the 4K route, 3070 is going to be pretty nice on that end. If you're looking for 4K, high frame rates, maybe a 3080 is going to be pretty good at 1440p 144Hz, which is my personal preferred resolution and frame rate. you know, a 3070, 3080 on that level probably will suffice as well. If you're looking at 1440p, 60 frames per second, you know, maybe a 2070 is going to be pretty sufficient on that end. But hopefully they do add some more tiers, because I really find that helpful. And again, we're still, you know, 5.5 months away from the release of the game, so things can shift at a moment's notice. But these are relatively in-depth system requirements for the minimum and recommended side of things. It's just you need more tiers. Some things to go over about the game. On Steam, it is $60. The Digital Deluxe Edition is $70. Green Man Gaming has also got the Deluxe Edition on sale, 18% off. Instead of $70, you'd pay $57.39. So that's a significant savings. That's $13 less than what the PlayStation 5 version is going to be priced at, the base PS5 version. And you're getting the Digital Deluxe here. If you don't know, the Digital Deluxe is going to include a bunch of in-game content that, you know, your mileage may vary on how much you value that. However, what people are going to value, and it's not something I'd like to see out of games these days, 72 hours of early access. That's probably why a lot of people are going to buy the Deluxe Edition. This is something more and more games are doing. You're seeing it a lot in sports games, and you see it a lot in some Square Enix Western titles. I know Square Enix and Western, they sold a lot of their Western studios, but they did do that in the past. Really hate that model as far as a way to, you know, try to get people to buy a Digital Deluxe Edition. I just think, you know, you're not getting 72 hours of early access. What's really going on is the game is being locked away for an additional 72 hours for people buying the base edition of the game. Let's not mince words about that. That's what's going on here. Whenever you see, oh, 72 hours of early access. No, bro, the game's done. You could easily let people play it that, you know, are paying, oh, they're $60. They just want to pay their $60. Oh, no, you gotta wait 72 hours. So that's something that I don't like to see out of games. It should also be noted that it does look like on PlayStation platforms, because Avalanche, Warner Brothers, I should say more so Warner Brothers, made a deal with PlayStation. PlayStation owners will be getting an exclusive mission as well. What that is remains to be seen, but yeah, there is also a pre-order bonus to get a free mount, so that is an option as well. But nonetheless, Hogwarts Legacy is a game that I know a lot of you guys are super excited for. I'm not a big Harry Potter guy, but based on the gameplay that I've seen, this is a game 100% I will be checking out. And while we're still a ways away from the release of the game, you know, 5.5 months, and who knows, another delay could happen, and I know people would just absolutely go awry if that was the case, but it looks like it's making some smooth progress, and, you know, a finished game is better than a delayed game is at some point good, unfinished game is always bad, whatever that Miyamoto quote is, but nonetheless, Hogwarts Legacy, February 10. System requirements are out. Hopefully they get expanded a little bit more. I will leave a link in the description box below where you can get the game a little bit cheaper over at GMG. That's going to do it for me. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comments as well, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.